Danger! Danger!
Welcome to the Danger Zone, the most epic podcast on the web. Movies, sports, video games, and more. Let's get dangerous.
Danger! Danger!
Hey, what up,
Here
guys?
it is, the beginning of the end.
It's a late episode, but you know.
Well, we had to have a little break. Everybody needs a vacation from time to time.
You know, it happens. You gotta let it flow in.
You gotta go with the flow, like John Candy said in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You gotta go with the flow like a stick in the mighty current.
But anyways, let's talk about something that we fucking
It was covered on satellite radio.
It wasn't covered
That's how
on
I found
MSNBC. It wasn't covered on Yahoo. The only
Fox News.
Nothing, dude. Tupac's mom died.
Yep.
And
sad day.
I mean, that sucks that, you know.
Big time.
But at least she set up a thing to where it protects her son's music. So not just anybody can go and fuck around with Pac's music.
Right. Well, she was a smart woman. I heard she was a Black Panther.
Yeah.
I heard she was a strong influence on his music. I heard, a lot of good things about the woman, and it's too bad that I'm sure it was natural causes. I didn't catch a lot on it. I just heard a little bit on the radio.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it's crazy that wasn't
covered like
Prince or China's was, you know.
Right. Well, Prince. I mean, come on, man. The guy made a movie.
I get you. But still,
he made a movie. Was it before or after that album came out?
It was. He made the movie when the album came out.
Right, and the whole reason was to promote the album.
Right.
And what a beautiful idea it turned into. I mean, look at what the guy did. He killed it. And what a genius when it comes to music, huh?
Speaking of fucking Prince, I think it's awesome that Charlie Murphy story was true.
Right.
Prince was like, we played basketball and I kicked their ass. And I served them pancakes. I didn't make them, but I served them to them. That's fresh.
And it was the shirts against the blouses.
Right, and the blouses. Dude, that's awesome. I wish, I'm a big fat bastard. And I don't even like fucking basketball, but I would play Prince in basketball just to say that the blouses kicked the shirt's ass again.
Just so you can hear him say blouses win.
Right. And fucking Prince was a G.
Prince was a G. I mean, I didn't care for his clothing style.
Well, dude, it was the 80s.
I know, androgynous shit.
Everybody looked like a chick then.
I didn't.
Well, neither did I, but...
Right, well... But, I mean, I didn't. I wore fucking corduroys and parachute pants and...
Well, I meant the music people. Like, even Kiss was looking gay in them days. Well, not that gay, but pretty gay. Okay, that gay.
AC/DC didn't look gay.
No, because AC/DC's always done the same shtick over and over.
Right.
And they won't quit.
But that was back during the hair bands.
Yeah. So,
right.
I mean, and then look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson and Prince are like the same guy, except for one's better and one doesn't fucking...
Just two different styles of music, I suppose.
Two different, Prince is more rock than Michael is.
Right. Michael was pop.
Right. Straight pop. Anyways, let's get on to something else. Man, I used to live in a trailer house. I've lived in many trailers.
Say it ain't so. I was born in a trailer house.
I've lived in a few fucking trailers.
And I'd live in another one, be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not hating on trailers. I'm just trying to explain something.
Right.
And fucking, I have a little bit of an anger problem, and sometimes I get mad and these weird scenarios happen.
Your weird fascinations.
My weird fascinations, these weird scenarios that'll never happen.
But it's fun to think about.
But it's fun to think about when you're angry. Fucking, I don't know how to drive a stick shift car, okay? I can only drive an automatic. And
which baffles my fucking
which
mind.
is weird because I'm old and I don't know how to
Right.
drive a stick, but still. Anyways, that's one of the funny reasons what I'm getting to is, man, I got all mad at my mom not long ago.
Which
she
is
pissed me off, dude.
happens frequently.
And I was listening to some old ass songs that I used to listen to when I was a kid in the early 90s, and I was just pissed off, and I was thinking about stealing a goddamn a big old semi, like an Optimus Prime semi, and stealing it. And I don't know how to drive a stick, but I'll fucking make it work somehow. And just tipping her trailer over with it while I'm listening to Tarzan Boy by whoever the fuck. If you hear that music, your fucking house is getting tipped over.
If you hear that and you live in a trailer house, just get the fuck out.
Even if it comes on the radio, you should probably take a right.
Road raging in a big old semi, black smoke just pouring from the stacks.
And I'm
gears a grinding.
I'll tip your fucking house over. I don't care if your house is an apartment building. I'll try. I'll fucking try.
That's what happens when you piss the dirt off.
Yeah, I'll fucking tip you, dude. Captain. Anyways,
right.
Nowadays,
are you more human than anyone?
More human than anyone. I'm more human than human.
You're more human than the human?
Yeah. I'm almost a man. I'm almost human.
Anyways.
Fucking piss me off and I'll tip your house over with a semi while listening to Tarzan Boy. So every time anybody ever listens to that obscure 90s, late 80s song, just think of the dirt. Just fucking, you're all in your house watching TV, having dinner with your family, and all of a sudden your house
eating your
tips
spaghetti
over.
and meatballs.
Your house just tips over and you hear that song.
Right, all over your white blouse.
And then the cops all come and everybody's standing outside their house and the cops drag me out of the semi.
And just Rodney King the fuck out of him. As he's laughing and that music's playing.
And that music's still playing.
Right. And then after they beat you and crack your skull wide open, they all... watch your head when you get in the car, watch your head.
Right, and then I look at the camera and I smile with 3 teeth left.
2.5, you got a broken one,
Right.
A big old black eye and a broken nose and missing an ear.
Right, who would know such a pushover song would instill fear?
Right, well.
I'll fucking tip your house over, I swear to God.
And then every cop that was there would get a medal for kicking your ass.
Right, I'm the house tipper.
The house tipper.
Kind of like in the Home Alone movies, the Wet Bandits. Well, I'm the fucking house tipping bandit. I'll tip your fucking house over, you piss me off.
Tip your house over.
While you're in it, and it'll be funny, because it won't kill you, but it'll be really, really terrible for you.
I'll tell you what, you want to piss me off? Don't watch for me when you're driving and I'm on my motorcycle in traffic. You want to piss me off? That's a good way. You want me to pull up next to you and kick your door or spit on your windshield? That's a good way to do it. Right. When you're out driving around, make sure you take a good look around, because guys on bikes, man, some of us aren't crazy. Some of us obey the law, and we don't appreciate when you fucking ram us into guardrails or squish us into a car at an intersection or run us over and break both of our fucking legs and hips and shoulders and
God knows what else.
Right. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so piss off or I'll tip your house over.
Right. You fucking... Anybody ever hits me while I'm out riding my hog, me or Stevie or Scooter, or anybody hits any of us, dirt's coming to your fucking house and he's tipping it over with a goddamn...
tip your fucking house over.
With a Kenworth.
With you and your kids and your mom and your dad sitting at the table eating meatloaf, just having what a wonderful life. You're all like, oh, this guy's blue.
And then next thing you know, you're upside down.
And your fucking house is tipped over.
Right? And that's what you get. That's what you deserve.
And then I think to myself,
right?
What a wonderful while.
And then the Dirk will go have Pabst because he's earned it.
I'll have fucking a million Pabst in the semi.
And because he's earned it.
Yes, and so have you.
Right. You earned it too. So watch for motorcyclists.
Watch for motorbikers.
Right, because if you don't watch for me and you pull out in front of me and I have to fucking slide my bike sideways and about fucking wreck, you can't get mad at me when I pull up next to you and kick your door and spit on your window and call you a dumb cunt or a stupid cocksucker or whatever you are at that time.
Right, and then 2 days later, your house mysteriously gets tipped over.
Right, by a guy in a semi playing Tarzan, boy.
Right, so, I mean, piss on
Anyway,
me.
so yeah, so that's what we think about that.
Fuck y'all. We're still paid.
Still paid.
So, me and Vinny have been playing Black Ops 3, and we're pretty new to Black Ops 3 because we kind of started late on it. We're not
right
like we were with the other ones.
Because we're cheapskates and we just don't want to. Yeah. You know, because those games come out every year and it's like $120, right? And it's the same shit. And all they do is take the maps and switch the backgrounds and stuff.
It's pretty dumb.
And I gotta admit, I like the maps on this new Call of Duty 3.
They're an improvement.
They're an improvement. They're a great improvement. The weapons. I mean, the game itself is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But their multiplayer engines or their multiplayer servers, excuse me, are
a little
shit.
They're shit.
They are shit.
They're shit. But that's not even the worst part of the game. No. Now the worst part of this game nowadays is, and man, let me tell you, I've always stood behind Treyarch. I've said Treyarch makes the best Call of Duty
Same
games.
here.
Black Ops 1 and 2. 3.
Right.
I was like, man, dude, I'm always
You're the reason
I
bought the game because I wasn't gonna buy it, and you're like, dude, it's Treyarch. Come on.
Right. We got zombies. You know,
always make good games.
They make wonderful games for the CODs.
They make fun games. Badass. I mean, they're the tits.
But with this one, man, there's a little problem, and there's a problem, and it's called Activision.
Right.
Activision, you should have never got involved as a third
Stick to fucking Halo, you fucking jetpacking sons of bitches.
Dude.
No, but not everybody doesn't need a fucking jetpack.
Exactly.
Every
and that's
game
what
doesn't need
forced
jetpacks.
Treyarch to add the jetpack into their game because they thought if they didn't have it,
they wouldn't compete
because that was the
Halo.
game right before Black Ops 3, and they thought if we don't keep up with them, then we're going to be stupid.
Gotta have the jetpacks, dude.
No, okay, this isn't Halo. I play Call of Duty. If I want this kind of shit, yeah, we're playing Call of Duty.
Why can't we just have our game? Why don't you just leave us with our game? Leave us alone. Quit fucking adding shit that doesn't need to be added to it.
Why don't you spend more time fixing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5?
No shit. Put jetpacks on that motherfucker.
Yeah, and leave Call of Duty alone, you bastards.
No shit.
You forced Treyarch to fucking just delve into your little gimmick fucking thing that your only one fucking game had, and now you're making another one called Infinite War, and nobody wants to fucking play that shit. And you fucking took my Black Ops 3 that would have been a perfect game.
You took it away from you. Soiled it.
I feel like Patchy the Pirate when he sees that lost episode of SpongeBob and he thinks it's only 10 seconds long and he starts ripping the posters off.
And he's had enough. And that's what we've had is enough.
I've had enough with I think I'm done with COD.
You've come into our house and you've insulted us. Take your jetpack and go home. Yeah, go fly away and fly through somebody else's fucking window, you bitch. But it ain't gonna be my fucking window. My window's closed. Because I got other games to play. Yeah, no shit. That have terrible load times, too. You fuckers, you hear me, Treyarch, and you hear me, Infinity Ward, and especially you, Activision, you Nazi fucking bastards. You started the Nazi whores. Fucking communist fucks, fascist pricks, fucking making jetpacks in the game. Support and stuff. You probably donate money to the terrorists because you want them to win. Die. Everybody, you
Tony Hawk pro skating motherfuckers.
Oh, dude.
And you can't even fix your own game, but you got to go and fuck with my game.
You got to go fuck with the one thing, the one game that we hold sacred.
Nuketown. And you fucking almost ruined it. It's almost unplayable now.
It's very, very close. If we're playing against somebody that's really good, that can use those jetpacks to their advantage.
Fuck those jetpacks.
They're unstoppable.
If there was fucking real jetpacks, you'd think cops would be going, fuck that, man.
Right.
They're stupid.
Fucking stupid. Even if there were jetpacks, you'd have to be trained to use them and everything.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I know it's a
and
video
like,
game.
You can run on the walls.
Right.
Oh, and then in the other game, they're like, we don't just got zombies, we got exo-zombies.
And why in zombies is it so hard to pack a punch a fucking weapon?
Right, and you know, and they charge $15 for these fucking map packs, and the only fucking map we're gonna play in the map pack is the fucking zombie map, because everything is just garbage.
Garbage.
You know,
right?
I've had it up to here.
I've had it up to here too.
I'm like, I could get in a rocket ship, fly all the way up to Jupiter, and then still had it up to higher, okay, with these fucking games.
Tired of this stupid fucking... Why? Why do you need jetpacks in that game? You don't.
Fucking don't.
I understand the sliding thing. You had it in the last one.
Right, and that's...
I prefer the diving like
I prefer
in the first
diving,
Black Ops.
too. And, you know, I like Call of Duty Ghosts. That was a great game.
That was a great game.
But anything made by Activision, and the only reason that I'm hating on them is because they fucking forced Treyarch to put those dumb jetpacks in.
And it was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Well, not the stupidest, but it was pretty stupid.
Dude, get this right. My brother bought me Advanced Warfare when it first came out. Bought it for me. I didn't even have to pay for it. I played it twice and I sold it to my son-like cousin.
To your son-like cousin.
Because it sucks. And now I gotta fucking play a Diet Advance 2 with Black Ops 3.
Oh my god, it's like just... You might as well have kept that game, huh?
Yeah, I might as well have. It's the same shit, pretty much.
You might as well kept that and talked me into buying that instead.
Right, would be further.
We need to get back to playing GTA 5.
GTA 5, Payday 2, something.
Diamonds for Trevor.
Fuck, I'll play.
I'll show you my yacht.
Fucking Pinochle, I don't care.
Play Pinochle. I know you played Magic.
Okay, we got some Q&As here from some web folk. All right, we're gonna jump around the list a little bit. We're gonna go with one of this one guy. His name's Viking something. I think it's Viking Scaper or Scaper Viking. I don't know. Anyways, he wanted to know about what we think about aliens and how they're probing people, and if we think Kanye West is one.
Is an alien?
Right. And I don't think he's an alien.
I don't know.
If he is, he's one of the dumb ones, the potato head ones that they were like, dude, we can't handle this.
Well, I don't know. You know, my thoughts about aliens, of course, you know, we've talked about it a million times, Dirk.
Yeah.
I believe that aliens came here a long time ago. It's the ancient alien theory, basically. Aliens came here a long time ago. They bred a species with... excuse me. They pretty much evolved, super fast evolved the species that was already on this planet.
Right.
The way they wanted it. And which is not far-fetched. We're getting to those stages now. I mean, and we're still primitive. We're a very primitive race. I mean, it's not far-fetched to believe that thousands of years ago, like hundreds of thousands of years ago, aliens came here. They settled. They got natural resources they needed. Started a race of slaves to do the work for them. The mining that they didn't want to do. And then just left. And left the race here because they don't give a shit. It was their slaves. They were just here to do work for him, and that's where you get, your stories of worship
and
all
crazy,
the gods
and shit,
right. But that's my belief. I do believe in a higher being, but of course, once again, the higher being I believe in is not the same as
everybody else's. I mean, I think everybody else believes in a higher being unless you're a Satanist or atheist. But I think everybody's thinking of the same higher being and just not realizing it. But that's fine. That's another discussion.
And when you say you're an atheist and saying you don't believe, well...
And you don't believe.
Well, I mean, but you're believing that nothing happens to you when you die. So actually, you do believe. You believe that nothing happens to you when you die.
And it may not. Who knows?
Right.
I'm not dead yet, so...
I'm not either. I've never died. I've almost drowned a couple times, and my life flashed before my eyes, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't fun. Especially when it happens. I mean, after it's over with, you can laugh about it or whatever, but...
I'll crack a beer to that.
Oh my God, over here pounding Pabst Blue Ribbons.
So...
PBR and reefer in your grandma's basement.
Since we covered that, probing, I can...
Probing.
I don't,
I'm not much for
I don't
probe.
think I think the only reason aliens do that is to find out something, but I don't think they do it all the time.
Right, I like to be the prober myself.
Right. I'm the pitcher, not the catcher.
Right, that's right. I'll gladly do some probing, but no dudes, please.
So, Viking Scaper, there's the answer to that question. We're going to jump around again. We're going to go to Sakul. Everybody knows him.
Yep, he did. He sent us some questions before.
Does Vinny or Dirk have any crazy, drunken, or high stories they would like to share with the public?
Go ahead.
I guess I'll go first. All right. Now, this is really, really crazy. And now, the reason why I say it's crazy, it's not because I was so messed up that I did a bunch of crazy shit or whatnot. It was just one isolated incident that could have been so bad that it could have affected my life really bad. Now, with that being said, I'm glad it didn't because... I don't know, maybe that higher being was watching out for me. But anyways, this happened when I was about 16 years old. And me and Sakul, Lucas, we were in his conversion van at the time that he had. And we were smoking massive amounts of marijuana.
What?
Marijuana. We were smoking tons of it. And
tons of weed.
My daughter's mom was there too, and she was in the back seat.
Were you guys jogging?
We parked to smoke, and what I was gonna do was I had this big fucking switchblade. All right,
a big fucking switchblade.
I had a switchblade on me. And my bag of weed was almost gone except for one bowl. So I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking cut the excess bag off so it'll make it easier for me to dump the little sack into said bowl. Well, I'm doing this and I'm really high at the time and it's just not cutting well. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I keep cutting and I keep cutting and I yank up and then all of a sudden I feel this horrible pain. And then I see blood all over my hands. And what happened is when I was cutting the sandwich baggie, I yanked up too far and the blade of my switchblade went up my nose and fucking cut the ribbons out of me. And my nose was bleeding like a son of a bitch. So I gave the pipe to Lucas with all the weed, and I took my bandana. Thank God I had something at the time. Back then I used to wear bandanas a lot, and I took it off my head and I used it to stop the bleeding from my nose. But the reason why I tell this story is because it's so freak and so weird and so obscure. Like, the chances of that happening are slim unless you're a fucking potato head like me.
Right.
And
did you have eyebrows at the time?
I did have eyebrows at the time. And the reason why I say it could have been a lot worse is I'm so glad it didn't hit my eye.
Yeah,
you could have hit my eye.
Yeah,
I would have lost my fucking eye, dude.
Yep. And then you'd had a glass eye.
And
like
I'm just
Captain
glad
Ron.
it didn't go all the way up my nose and kill me.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a crazy
That's the way the Dirk's gonna go. He'll be picking his nose, trip, fall, and ram his finger up in his brain.
You gotta know how to chew gum and walk.
And he'll be in the line to go through the pearly gates, and they'll be like, "How'd you die?" And he'll be like, "I was picking my nose.
I was chewing gum and walking."
Right. Well, I got a story. I'm not, it's not as extravagant as yours, but, all right. This was many years ago. One of my good friends I used to rodeo with, his family had a ranch up by Big Timber. This was back in high school. And, well, they still have it, but my buddy Dan has moved to Washington. I haven't talked to him in years. Anyway, we're going up to his ranch. His sister and her friends were going up there too, but we were going up separate. And on our way up, it's about an hour and 15-minute drive up in the mountains. And on the way up, my buddy Dan turns to me and he goes, "Look what I got." And he holds up a big fat bag of mushrooms.
Oh no, mushrooms!
Right, and he's like, "You want some?" Well, of course I want some. They're fucking mushrooms, you know.
Mushrooms.
So I grab a handful of them and eat them, and we're drinking beer all the way up because it's just a dirt road heading straight up in the mountains. His ranch is out in the middle of fucking nowhere, but fuck Egypt. That's where it's at. And he has four-wheelers and horses up there. So we're driving these roads, just hand gobbing down these fucking mushrooms, just gobbing them. It was like a half ounce, and we ate them all.
Oh, between the two of us.
Jesus. And so by the time we get there, and his sister's just smoking hot, and all her friends are just smoking fucking hot,
Just babes.
And as soon as we pull up, what happens, dude? Those mushrooms hit me like a fucking
freight train.
Just blam! And I'm just fucked, just whoa! And we go inside the ranch house and we're talking to him, and I'm just like, I gotta get some fresh air,
You gotta do something.
Right. So
getting your composure.
Get my thoughts, because I was like, I might have a chance here.
Right,
you always might have a chance, right? So I step out on the front porch, which is a big porch. And this is an old ranch house that was built in the late 1800s. But anyway, and there's hummingbird feeders on this porch. And at the... that was my phone. And at the time, it was... Geez, I don't know. It was probably midsummer. And the sun was going down. And there was just... I don't know, like 50 or 60 hummingbirds out there. And I step out on the porch, and I'm just frying my nuts off on these mushrooms. And all these hummingbirds just come, and they must have felt the vibrations from me or something. I don't know. They knew I was fucked up. And they just swarmed around me and just kept flying circles around me. And I'm just standing out there. Right. Hummingbirds. Right. And everybody comes out and sees this, and I'm just like... Right. I like birds.
Goddamn potato head hardcore.
Right. Just brain fried, dude. So it doesn't end there. My buddy Dan's like, "Hey, we should jump on the four-wheeler, strap a case of fucking beer on it, and go for a ride." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah.
Right. So we're up in the mountains just... dude, we sounded like two fucking lunatics.
I bet.
Right. Just pounding fucking Budweiser tall long necks.
Long necks.
Right, riding my buddy Dan had a broken right arm because he was a bull rider.
Yeah.
So he's riding the four-wheeler
with a
broken cast. No, he's using the cast, dude.
Really?
He just ripped the hand part of it off.
Oh.
And, which I'll get to this later. This is a good story. So, anyway, so we're flying through the mountains.
Through the mountains.
Right. And we, which his place is kind of close to, what are those places called where you go out and you stay, like a
resort?
Or like a bed and breakfast. Nice. Where you can do some fishing and stuff, you know. And we come across this dude, just random guy out there fucking fly fishing, right? And we're just like, blah, 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 you know, and this dude just turns around and he's like, what the you know?
What is wrong with these guys?
Right. So we decide we're going to go back. We're going to go back to the ranch house and try and finish out our night. So we go back to the ranch house and we're playing cards or dice. And just fucking pounding beers and fucking smoking doobies. Drinking Steve Weisers. Right, eating cheeseburgers because we were eating cheeseburgers. Dude, and then all of a sudden I remember we had the fire going, the wood burning stove, because that's how you heat the house, wood burning stoves. You had to heat buckets of water to take a bath. You had to pump your water.
Old school.
Well, it was built in the late 1800s. And so we're sitting there playing cards at the dinner table and the stove's right next to it and the pipes go on the roof. And all of a sudden the pipes just fall.
Oh no.
Right, and smoke's pouring in the house. Oh. And it's just like 1,000,000 degrees and we're panicking, running around, you know, what the fuck? And we run and grab the oven mitts and grab the pieces and piece it back together and fucking did everything we could to just get it to stay. Anyway, and by the time that's over with, I'm like, oh, I can't take no more of this. I gotta go to bed. But I'd eaten so many mushrooms, I was just fucked. Right.
Fucked.
But I had some Xanax.
Oh, to relax.
Right. And so I popped like 3 Xanax to knock me out, you know, which it did. It knocked me out. So as soon as I knock out, I'm out for maybe an hour and a half. And I get waken up by my buddy Dan. He's got a hacksaw in one hand, and his cast is soaking wet, and he's telling me I have to cut it off.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm like, you know, I'm all fucked up on mushrooms and fucking beer and fucking Xanax, and I can't even move. And he's like, motherfucker, you're taking this thing off me now.
Because it's shrinking on him.
Right. And he's just, you know, he's tired of it. Right. And so I had to get up all fucked up at like
and saw that
3 in the morning and saw this fucking thing off his arm up in the mountains like Doogie fucking Hauser. Didn't he do shit like that? Wasn't he a kid?
I don't fucking know.
The kid doctor or the witch doctor, whatever doctor that cuts shit off. But I ain't a fucking doctor, and that sucked, man. And I was so fucked up, and all I could think about was cutting his arm off. And he's looking at me going, don't you fucking cut my arm off. And I'm like, dude, you know, what are you supposed to do? I got it off. He ended up having to get another cast put on. But yeah, how'd you like to go through that? I mean, it was a pretty fun time, though. You know?
Right, besides that point.
Right, so there's interesting. I got many more.
Right.
We'll save them for other episodes.
So here's a question from Mr. Farscape Viking guy, a.k.a.
That's Big Jess.
Which is worse, line dancing or the Macarena?
Which is worse? Good one, Jess. Good one, because
I'd have to say line dancing.
They both touch deep. Yes, and I'll tell you what. You ever want me just to walk over and push you over? Line dance in front of me.
Yeah. At least Dr. Evil did the Macarena and it was funny.
And it was funny. If he would have line danced,
I would have killed him.
I would have had to. I would have had to send the Dirk. I would have had to send the Dirk over to his house with a diesel
to tip it over.
Fucking right. Push that fucker over. Right. because that fuck line dancing. I used to be a hick, and I hated line dancing back then, and that was in the early 90s. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah, he used
late
to,
80s, early 90s.
Dude,
I was Hickmeister, fucking big time.
I remember back when I was a kid, he was a hick, and he rodeoed, and he
rode
wore
Saddle
all
Bronc.
the fucking
Big old belt buckle.
Dude, yeah, it looked
Size
like
of
a
a
wrestling,
hubcap. Right.
looked like a wrestling title.
I'm all
belt.
walking like Vince McMahon with my fucking belt buckle on.
And everybody used to think he looked like Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
But he did a little bit, but not really because he wasn't fat.
Well, I am now, but
But back then, he was not
I
fat.
used to work out every day and run, and I didn't have back problems.
Right, he was.
I wasn't 40 years old.
He was fucking like.
Tight and sexy.
He
Tight and
was
sexy.
He was.
Team
He was
sexy
strong
was
as
definitely
fuck
in the
back
house.
then. He was strong as fuck back then, like hardcore. I remember one time he was helping me move, and his dogs that were alive then, and none of these dogs are alive now, unfortunately.
No, they were. You're
It
talking
was
about Kate,
Kobe, and Missy.
Right.
They were in the truck with us, and he was helping me move. And I was in the truck with him. I was only in 4th grade, and he was out of high school already.
Right.
And fucking, he's this buff, sexy motherfucker. And
cowboy
fucking
boots
all of a
and a
sudden, the
cowboy hat
dogs
on.
just all jump out, dude, for no reason at a stoplight, and this motherfucker gets pissed, and he fucking jumps out of this truck.
I remember
picks
this
up
day.
these giant
I
fucking
remember
dogs,
this day.
man. that
One hand at it, one in each hand, man.
And just starts chucking them back into the car.
Yeah, that's right. I was throwing them in the
yeah,
car.
dude, you like the Hulk, dude. And I was
Right.
like, holy
Dude,
fuck.
I was so pissed though because those dogs have never done that to me before.
Oh, he
and
was
we were in the
mad.
middle of traffic.
Yep, and he was mad, and he did it, and I was just sitting there like,
I
oh my
hulked
god,
out. I hulked
he
out
did.
on you.
Dude. He's throwing 200-pound dogs like it ain't shit. Just this little hit guy.
I remember
pissed.
that day now. I
Little
remember
buff
that.
hit guy.
I was pissed because they weren't listening to me. I was like, "Get back here!" and they took off, and I ran, and I was in cowboy boots, and
you were
I caught
in cowboy
them too.
boots, and you caught him, and dude, you fucked them up.
Right. That was when
They deserved it,
That
though.
was back when I was in my prime, when Team Sexy was at its prime.
Dude, he was a Hulk of a man back then. He was little. You couldn't really tell how big he was until, because he wore all those stupid fucking shit kicker shirts all the time.
Long sleeve.
Yeah.
I always wore long sleeve button-up collared shirts.
Yeah.
With a big old
You
fucking
couldn't tell
cowboy
until
hat,
it was too
with a
late.
scarf on, with that big belt buckle and tight ass Wranglers, dude.
Tight.
Just smuggling them grapes.
Right.
Fucking, and them big old shit kickers with the giant heel. I still have all that stuff. It don't fit.
It
but
don't fit for shit. But
I
dude,
still have all that stuff. Those hats were expensive. Those boots were expensive.
dude, I bet you the belt buckles were expensive.
I still have I still have the belt buckle. I still have my saddle from when I rode Saddle Bronc.
Damn.
Right.
That's old school, man.
Yeah, that saddle is old. That's a 1974 or 75.
Mikey was shitting in diapers then, and he's 26 years old.
right.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Because you were just a kid. I remember.
Yeah, I was just
You used
a
to
kid.
come and watch me when they had the Billings Night Rodeo. I'd ride there
Right.
sometimes. Because I rode a lot in the high school league. The high school rodeo. They have that professional high school rodeo.
Right. Because we're in Montana, so.
Right, and that's what you get when you live in Hickville. We rodeo up here.
We do. Yeah, I bet you nobody outside of Montana knows what a mate is. You know what a mate is? I've been to a mate. Have you?
Oh, like the
Montana Agriculture and Trade Exposition.
right.
Yeah. People don't know what a mate is, but I do, and it's boring as piss unless you're a farmer.
Unless you're a hick. I used to love that shit, man. I'd go there and I'd just be fucking just picking up them hick chicks.
Oh, man.
That was my favorite part of being a hick. I had groupies from the rodeo, man. They'd follow me around and they'd wear them no pocket Wranglers.
Right.
Oh, and my bird would do this.
Yep. And what about the Nile?
The Nile, dude.
The Nile. People will be like, "Oh, what are they,
rodeo.
Egyptian?" No, it's a rodeo here in Montana.
Right.
And
It's like a big event for
it's
us
dumb
in
as
Hickville.
piss.
Which
Just like the maid.
right, which this city's gotten a lot bigger since
Since what we were talking about.
right, and I mean it's gotten so bad where I live on 32nd now, man.
Yep.
I went to leave for work today, and because it's Saturday, it was all of 32nd, just a straight line of traffic all the way across.
We got like
dude.
200,000 people in this city now.
I think we're over that.
You think? Yeah.
I think so because, dude,
They need to expand Billings hardcore. Make Laurel and Billings one.
Dude, it's a 10-minute drive to my work, but it takes me about 45 minutes now
Yeah, because there's so many people.
because of all the traffic.
Right. Everybody's moving here, and God knows why. This place is a black hole of despair and destruction.
Right. I mean, really, this is not the economy here sucks.
Oh, it's
There's
bad.
not good paying. I got one of the probably better paying jobs in this town.
Yeah, you probably got the best with our credentials.
Right. I don't know. They,
It
the
depends
refinery
on what
too. You
Yeah,
can do
well,
the
yeah,
refinery.
But fuck the refinery. You don't work half as hard.
Dude, right. I know.
Those fucking guys like Jim.
I break a sweat, but that's only because it's hot outside. and we have air conditioning where I work, and it's a nice, climate controlled building. It's fucking enormous, but, it is nice and comfortable, and I have bottled water to drink.
Right.
They spoil me.
They spoil you.
Right? I keep bitching I want grape Kool-Aid.
But we'll go on to the next question here, and this is by Sakul. And I would fuck. I'm gonna cut this out anyways. Anyways, this next question.
You're like, I'm gonna cut this, and I'll bet he doesn't. I'll bet this ends up in the fucking
It's
podcast. He always says that, and then I listen to it, and it's like, I thought you were gonna cut that out. Yeah,
I forgot.
yeah. Wrestling was on.
Right. So anyways, some crazy family stories is what Lucas wants to know because
Crazy family
he knows
stories.
we're related. So I got a good one. And
I think everybody that listens-
and this is a story that I gotta go by hearsay because I wasn't there when it happened. But it's crazy and it's funny as fuck. Okay, so back in the day, my aunt, Vinny's mom used to date this guy named Larry.
LD.
And he was this hick 'em up,
Toughest motherfucker you ever seen in your life.
Just a hick 'em up fucking. He's a regular John Wayne.
Yes, a modern day regular John Wayne, fucking so scary fire wouldn't even jump
and
on
I'm doing
him.
the quotations like Dr. Evil with my fingers.
John Wayne.
So, anyways, wasn't it on Mother's Day?
It was on Mother's Day.
Mother's
Yes.
Day. And I wasn't there because I was too busy sitting at my house getting fucked up with my girlfriend at the time, and I didn't want to go. But it was all my cousins were there except for Marie.
Yeah, it was
Marie
me and
wasn't
Mike
there.
and Joe.
But it was my cousins Vinny, Joe Danger, and Michael Dangerously.
Yeah.
And so all three of my older cousins are there, and then our grandma's there.
Yeah, Grandma was
my
there.
mom's there. Your mom's there.
Right. Everybody but you and Sticks were
everybody
there.
but-
Or was Sticks there?
I don't know. I can't
He
remember.
might have been.
He might have been. But anyways, it's Mother's Day, and they're having, a get-together over at my aunt's house, Vinny's mom's house.
Yes.
And so everybody fucking shows up, and then LD, Mr. Tough Guy,
Gets a little liquored up.
he gets a little brave, and he starts just talking shit to everybody. Everybody.
Gonna kick all three of our asses, and we're not little guys.
No, and
Nobody in our family is
No.
little.
And, to give a perspective to my older cousins, dude,
And this was before my back went out, and I was still in pretty decent shape.
to give a perspective, whenever Red Rum the Dirk can't handle the check he cashed, they helped me cash it.
Right.
So, I mean, they're not little dudes and they're not nothing to mess with. So, this guy starts popping off at the mouth.
And saying he's going to take all
He's gonna
three
take
of us
all
on.
three of them on. And he's going to whoop their asses, too, by the way.
Right.
You know?
Right. And I'm the type of guy that will try and talk you out of it if you're being unreasonable because, you know, in all reality, I don't
it's not worth it.
Right. You know, it's not. And I knew the way Mike was going to react when he heard what he was saying. And I tried reasoning with the guy. Honestly, I did. I talked to him and I told him to leave. He did leave for a little bit.
But then he came back.
But then he came back, and that's where he fucked up.
He fucked up.
He came back, running his mouth. Mike heard it.
You go ahead and continue the story.
Because I was right there.
He was there. I wasn't. I heard about it when everybody got home.
Right. Mike heard it. Told him he's sick of his shit and he's gonna shut his fucking mouth for him. And Larry goes running towards him like he's gonna fucking punch him. And I'm standing in between the two of them.
Right.
And he goes running like he's just gonna run right past me and go punch Mike in the head.
Right.
So I just clothesline that motherfucker. I
Drop
mean,
him.
what are you thinking? You just told me you're going to take all three of us on and you're going to run by me like that after my brother. I knew Mike was going to kick his ass anyway.
Anyways, but why not make it
I just didn't want to
example?
Right, but so,
you don't go into somebody's house
and run your mouth.
No,
and
especially when the whole family's there almost.
And call them all on. Yeah, and this is in the doorway of the house. So I clothesline this motherfucker. And I've wrestled and I've taken taekwondo and karate and I know some submission holds. So I've got him in a full Nelson and my legs wrapped around his legs so he can't move.
Right.
And I'm whispering in his ear, "What are you going to do now, Larry? What are you going to do now?" And my brother Mike's kicking the fuck out of him and breaking his fingers, and our grandma's beating him with a crutch.
Yeah, grandma
calling him a gigolo son of a bitch.
Yeah, our grandma, who's 80 years old, is hitting him with a crutch. You gigolo son of a bitch! And fucking Joe tried to go and beat him up, but he couldn't.
There was no room.
There was no room with Grandma and Mike and Vinny.
Yeah, and he and then he said that we jumped him.
Yeah, well, dude, you don't go. Okay, all right. Let's put it in perspective here. If anybody who has any brains at all, if you go into somebody's house and their whole family's there, and you start shit with a bunch of your family members, and you think that what the fuck do you think's gonna happen?
What are you, a fucking soft-skulled retard?
Fucking idiot?
Right.
Dude,
I suppose you're gonna walk into Tiny's Tavern and say, fuck the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, dude. Like, really? That's like coming into my house on football
saying,
day.
Fuck the Vikings.
Yeah, and saying, my dad and my brother and everybody's there. And
fuck all you fags. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah, and we just
and then expect to leave. Right.
Dumb. And dude, and he should have just kept he could have
got
said
what he deserved.
He could have said, "Hey, I don't like you people."
Right.
And then you would have been like, "Well, we don't like you either," and we kept it at that.
Yep. And then he would have been like, "Well, then at least we got that out of
the way."
Right.
And then just kept it at that. Like, what did he think? Like, really?
Obviously.
Even Grandma jumped in. He's lucky that fucking everybody wasn't there. Dude, I'm surprised even with you three, he
really
made it out alive.
Right, well.
I'm surprised. Even with just you, Mike, and Joe.
Shit happens. I mean, like you said.
I'm surprised.
You don't come into somebody's house and somebody's mother's house.
Yeah, somebody on Mother's Day.
On Mother's Day.
On fucking Mother's Day. How many mothers are in the room? My mom, your mom.
Telling my mom to
grandma.
shut up. Yeah, telling my mom to shut up.
Right, because he's a fucking punk who
talking shit to my kids' mom who I was with at the time.
All these fucking...
Right. And then expect to just walk out.
Right. Well, he expected to do some fucking Bruce Lee shit, obviously.
He figured since he knew Mike was doing the drug thing that...
nobody would do anything.
Yeah,
but
because
we didn't give a shit.
Because his brother-in-law was a cop.
Right. And you know what? Fuck his brother-in-law and fuck him.
Fuck him and fuck all the rest of them.
He still got his ass kicked, and Mike didn't go to jail for that shit anyway.
Nobody got arrested.
Nobody got arrested.
He actually apologized.
Yeah, he came back and apologized like a punk because he should apologize.
He should have.
Because he ruined Mother's Day.
He did. Well, he actually made my day.
Well, yeah, but you know...
He made Mike's day, too. Mike kicked the fuck out of him.
Well, that's what he gets, man.
And like he said, he's lucky that all three of us didn't. He's lucky Joe couldn't get in there.
Yeah, he is lucky because let me tell you, I've been beat up by Joe Danger a few times in my life. And Mike. And you know what? The only one out of all of you that hasn't beat me up is you.
Right.
So, yeah, he's
And they
way
always
lucky.
said that I had the hot temper.
Right. They're like, this guy's got the hot temper and they just beat me up as I'm growing up. Except for this guy.
Right.
So, well,
there's a story for you.
There's a story. That was a good one. So, how about it's by the same guy? Have you ever had any crazy neighbor stories that were just weird?
No. But the reason I hate cottage cheese is because of a neighbor.
Well, go ahead and tell it.
It was, let's see, what was I, like 12 or 13? I think I was 12. And the chick that lived next door to me was having a party. And I just got out of wrestling, I think it was. Because I was in middle school. And it was like Friday night. And so I'm like, fuck, I want to party. So I run home and I steal a 6-pack of my dad's Schmidt. Yep. Which, you know, I was 12 years old, man.
Schmidt
It was
malt
cold.
liquor.
It was beer.
Oh, Schmidt, dude, Schmidt is made in North Dakota, and it is the worst fucking beer ever.
It's it's delicious.
It is terrible.
Yeah. So, I take this beer and go over there and start drinking beers, hanging out with this chick and all her friends. And I end up just getting fucking shit-faced because they had a bunch of beer too, and some. That's to all the what steppers.
That's all to you 12 steppers out there.
Right.
Still tastes delicious.
So I get all fucked up, and this one chick that I went to school with, me and her ended up fucking starting to make out and shit.
And do you remember her name?
No.
Damn.
And
I wish.
Dude, that was like 30 years ago.
I was like 3 years old when this happened.
Yeah. And so we're all making out. And I don't remember this. I just, I remember waking up with cottage cheese in my mouth. This chick barfed in my mouth while we were making out. And
it was cottage
cheese. And I heard all the stories of what happened that night the next day. And I woke up in a t-shirt and my underwear. Yeah, my dad was pissed off at me.
So you fucked her, even though...
No, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened.
You fucked her. She puked in your mouth and you still hit it.
Oh, you're going to make me puke just think of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to this day, dude, I can't eat cottage cheese, man.
Vinny, for your birthday, I'm gonna get a giant, big, fucking buffet size fucking trough of cottage cheese.
Dude, I will kick you in the nuts.
Oh. And then have this giant spoon, like a Big Show spoon. And I'll be like, oh.
I'll get you a membership to Curves.
Yeah. That'll work. At least I need that.
Which would be hilarious if you had a membership at Curves.
Right, because, I look like a big dyke.
You do. You look like a
fat
big
dyke with tattoos.
Big fat dyke with tats. You should be driving a Subaru Outback.
Fuck, I don't drive shit, but
right. Well, if it's a stick, you definitely aren't driving it. I know that. Our trip to Nebraska, where I thought you would be driving half the way and I could sleep. But no, I end up turning into a German driving a fucking big old truck.
Dude. You know, my insult meter makes it very hard because you're related to me. So things that I would say to normal people that aren't related to me, I can't say against you because it just backfires. So we're just gonna move on, pretend that didn't happen.
Move on.
We're gonna talk about Stevie's barbecue. He's making his own barbecue sauce.
Old horsecock.
Old HC himself.
Right, HC himself, who is a fantastic chef. He makes amazing food.
And soups.
Oh, you can ask any one of my kids. Any one of my kids. Well, except for my son, because he don't like eating nothing. But both my daughters, you ask them, they'll tell you. Uncle Stevie. Dude. Old HC.
Old HC. Dude, you can ask me. I'm a big fat fuck. I eat his fucking
You used
food.
to eat his cooking all the time.
Yeah, and it was
we
awesome.
both did.
Yeah,
He was like our personal chef there for a while.
For a minute, him and
He used to make that clam chowder, dude, and I'd take buckets
his
of
clam chowder is like grandma's. It's so good.
Oh, it's just
Just good.
Oh,
It reminds me of grandma's. It's just so good.
right, just made the right way.
And
Tons of
I
bacon.
loved it. I loved it when he made the Balboa.
The Balboa.
Dude, I love that. That was so good. Just a fucking.
He made the
Subway would go
eat a
bankrupt.
dick. Right.
They fucking, dude.
Subway could
now.
eat Jared's dick, because
That was the shit.
Because old HC had it, man, in the bag.
Hell yeah.
Still does. Still a fantastic
He didn't
cook.
only, make.
I'd say he's a chef.
I would too, man. He should try,
I've always said that. Have his
be
own
a
fucking
sous chef or a fucking head chef
he's
somewhere.
I
man.
think he has. I think he should do it for himself, though. 'Cause he's
I
that
think he
good.
should too. All he has to do is go to like.
You Italians, you got it in you to cook. I don't know. You cook, though.
I cook. Well, I used to for my job.
Let me ask you this.
I cook sometimes.
And because you were a cook, and this pertains to you, how come you go to a Mexican restaurant and Italians are cooking, and you go to a Italian restaurant and Mexicans are cooking?
I don't know.
You know what I mean, though? You know what I mean.
Right.
I don't get that.
I don't either. It's kind of like going into a Chinese restaurant and there's a bunch of white people.
Right.
Cooking, or a bunch of Vietnamese
In a steakhouse.
in a steakhouse, yeah. It's kind of weird. But, I don't
It
care
happens.
as long as the food's good. I don't give a
Well,
shit.
they both make great food. It's just weird.
People can make whatever just as long as they got the recipe.
I got the recipe.
Recipe for disaster in his pants when he shits.
For danger. Shit, you're the toxic fucking Avenger when it comes to shit.
He's the one whose farts smell like Lay's potato chips.
Like Lay's, because
Not in a
all
good
white
way.
people's farts
No.
smell like. That's what I
My
heard.
farts smell like shit.
I heard that white people smell like bologna. Our farts smell like Lay's potato chips. We smell like wet dogs.
No, we don't.
Pasty white skin. It's scary at night. We look
Dude,
like
I'm
ghosts.
dark as fuck for a white guy.
You're pasty white, dude. You look like powder with hair.
What? Whatever, dude. Whatever.
You look like the Joker but only white makeup.
And I don't even go outside really much. I try to avoid people.
You look like Frodo Baggins, but fat.
But giant, giant
but
Frodo
fat and
Baggins
6'5"
without the hair.
Right? You got your ring. Where's your wizard? Where's Gandalf?
I don't know.
Right? You look like a 6'5", pasty white, covered with tats Frodo Baggins, who let himself go.
Damn. Don't hold back, Vinny. Just tell me what you really think.
Anytime.
Anytime, anywhere, anyhow.
Right.
So-
And anybody ever want to be a guest, you're more than welcome to come on, and we'll
Yeah.
belittle you and make fun of you as much as
Right.
we possibly can.
It happens.
And people will laugh. It'll be great.
But going on with
Right,
HC.
back to HC. We'll just call him HC.
He was asking us if we knew any place that sold condoms
That were bigger than the Magnum XL, because he's busting those, which I've heard those aren't really that much
Dude,
bigger.
I accidentally bought a box of those ones, and they are big.
They are big. Well, you only got 4 inches of Peter.
Oh, piss off.
And 2 inches of foreskin. 4 inches of foreskin.
You know what? It's genetics, so leave me alone.
Genetics, yeah.
Anyways, fucking dude, just fucking, I don't know what to tell you, bud.
You're gonna have to go buy some fucking 55-gallon garbage bags, and hopefully you don't bust those out, bud. I mean, when you're swinging that big old tool around,
if that tool's bigger than both of our mics combined,
when you got a tool the size of the crocodile in that one,
I'm talking about on microphones.
What is that? Placid Lake.
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid. There you go. When your cock's swinging like the crocodile in Placid Lake,
Placid Lake. What a dumb fuck.
Whatever the fuck it is. What is it? Lake Placid?
Placid Lake and this and that. And
all I know is it's the movie where Betty White tells that cop to suck her dick.
Right, which is cool as fuck. Right. Betty White is a G.
She reminds me of Grandma when she does that. Big time. Because our sweet old grandmother.
Dude, she is a gangster. She don't give no fucks.
Zero.
None. I remember fucking...
Ask LD, he'll tell you.
Right. Fucking, I remember back in the day when my grandma was only like in her early 60s. Dude. Me and my buddy, Rage Ripsaw, we went to the pawn shop to pawn some stuff, and she took us, and there was this Crip guy outside, and he was just starting shit with us because I guess Larry was looking at him or something, and fucking grandma was all like, fuck you, motherfucker, why don't you take your bitch ass back to California, motherfucker. And that guy was like, that motherfucker's kids are staring at me. Grandma's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Dude, it was funny, and he all went in his car and drove away.
Well, yeah, grandma whooped his ass.
Yeah, grandma gives no fucks about shit.
I remember when she was way young, dude, and she had that big, tall beehive there, dude.
Right, the beehive and the Jeep.
Right, and she had that Jeep, dude.
The Jeep.
And grandma's always drove, because she raced cars.
Right, she was a race car driver.
She was a race car driver.
And that's a fact. Joe has her...
a trophy
that she won.
It's in my mom's room. I've seen it, yes.
Badass.
It is. How many people have a grandmother that raced fucking cars?
And drove truck.
Right. Owned a bar.
Right.
Fucking. And people didn't give her shit either, boy.
No, boy, because she was a fucking
firecracker, man.
She'd fucking,
That's our grandma. She's a sweet old lady.
She's a sweet old lady, but don't piss her off.
Right. You dirty sons of bitches.
Yeah. You'll get the horns.
You will get the horns. She'll call me and the Dirk and Joe Danger.
Yeah.
And you'll have 3 really pissed off big guys after you.
Yeah, and I'll fucking tip your
house over with a fucking diesel. And you'll hear that Tarzan, that retarded ass song playing. And you'll be like, where the fuck did he even find that retarded ass song? I don't know. Well, he found it.
But I'll tip your family's house over. I'll tip all your houses over. I don't give a fuck. And then
Zero
I'll fucking, if you come out of the house, I'll run you over and then tip your house over.
And then tip your house over again.
Again, twice, so it's up on the
And then
ceiling.
you know what we'll do? We'll burn your house down.
Right. And then we'll tip it over even when it's on fire.
And when the ashes are there, we'll tip them over.
Right. And we'll keep tipping them over until it's gone.
Right. And then you know what we'll do? We'll laugh about it.
And it'll be funny because you suck and you deserve to die.
Leave our grandma alone. She's a nice lady.
Give you the diamond cutter.
Goddamn right. I'll give you sweet chin music and throw my back out doing it.
There you go. But
you'll be like, what was that guy's name on that video? Brad or something?
Yeah, Brad.
He's all, what's your name? He's all, Brad. He's all, Brad.
Oh, no.
Whop.
Stan.
Stan, there you go.
Yeah. He's all like, hey, what's your name? I just kicked Stan.
Yeah.
And he all fucks him up.
Knocked him the fuck out with the sweet chin music.
We'll put the link of that video in the description.
Yeah, right. We always say that and it never happens.
It's going to happen this time.
All right, I trust you on that.
So, we need to talk about, a couple more things here. So,
What do we need to talk about, Dirk?
excuse me, I'm a little high.
You're going to go see Bernie Sanders. I know you're excited about that.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Bernie.
I wish I could go
fucking
see
Sanders.
Bernie, man.
Bernie's coming here.
I'm voting for him. I am.
Oh, yeah. And
Everybody that votes should vote for Bernie Sanders because he is the real deal.
He is. He's not the president that we need. He's the president we deserve.
Right. He just looks crazy. Just because he looks like the crazy professor from Back to the Future.
Yeah, and
They're both geniuses. You got to remember
knows the
that.
end of days prophecy, but nobody listens to him because his hair's a mess and he
Right.
keeps dropping his papers.
I think we picked up that train going by, dude, because I left the window open.
It's okay. I'll do
Yeah,
my
right.
best.
You always
I'll
say
know
that,
I'll do it.
and then I listen to it and I hear or the revving of motorcycles, or like that time the cord was all fucked up, and Big Jess was listening to it and he's like, "What the hell was that noise?" Or the chirping. Remember the chirping? Burp. Right. And our first episode when the smoke detector was like chirp,
Yep.
chirp. Every 15 minutes. I didn't hear it because I'm half deaf for one, and I got kids. I've learned to tone shit out. And same with you. You got kids. You learn how to shut noises off when they're not pleasing to you, and it can go all night for all you care because you turned it off.
I got another thing to talk about, and
You put a
it's
dip
funny
in.
because
You got that shit in your lip.
I do. I got my shit in my lip for this fucking.
That's fucking nasty. Anybody that chews, you're disgusting, just like this fucking disgusting and putting cow shit in your lip. Cow shit.
Anyways,
Ground up grasshoppers.
I got a something I got to talk about. Okay, and I've been back and forth about maybe not talking about it and doing, because I don't want to give this guy any promotion that he needs because he doesn't have any and he's stupid as fuck. Anyways, I'm going to talk about the June 4th Riddlebox show and motherfucking Butte. Anyways, there's this guy, and he's a fucking idiot, and he looks like a baby with a beard. He's a hobby rapper. He's a chump. He doesn't do shit at all but fucking open up for other fucking shitty rappers like himself. Nobody knows who he is. He hasn't put really anything towards his career, and he's even told me himself he is a hobby rapper.
What is a hobby rapper?
Somebody who fucking raps just to rap. It's a hobby. It's like me playing Magic the Gathering. It's a hobby.
Unlike,
Like the way I am, and I'm trying to
job.
get signed.
right? Unless you ask his partner.
Anyways, shut up.
Oh, shut up.
Anyways,
Low blow.
this fucking
Low
guy,
blow.
man, cock blocked me from opening up for ICP in Butte because he's a fucking pendejo.
Which you guys have earned that.
Oh yeah, easy.
And right.
He cock blocked me, dude. He
Not
fucking
cool, dude. If you live in a trailer, you're fucked.
He wouldn't even have known that ICP was coming here if it weren't for me. Fuck him. Okay?
Yep.
And you know what? I heard he likes to chop down trees. I heard, that, people call him Paul Bunyan or something, but he's a fucking fag and he's from Butte, and I'm going to that ICP show, and I'm gonna wear my fucking red rum mask, and I'm gonna fucking
They'll remember
boo
you
the
too.
piss out of him. Oh yeah, ICP will, but I'm gonna boo the fuck out of this fucking Paul Bunyan guy. He looks like a baby with this giant ZZ Top beard.
Is that what his name is? Paul Bunyan? Oh.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want to give him any promotion whatsoever, but he's a fucking dork.
Pendejo.
And he put the kibosh to me and Mr. E opening up for ICP.
Not cool, dude. Not
and
cool.
he had no fucking idea that ICP was coming until we thought we were cool with them. So we were like, hey, man, because he lives in Butte. And we were like, who's the promoter for Butte? And he was like, well, I am. So we fucking took it seriously. And then we were like, well, listen, fucking ICP's coming there, and we want to know how the fuck we can get on the bill. And he was all like, oh, I've known that forever. Burger. And then he just fucking didn't talk to us again. And then all of a sudden, he's opening up for ICP.
And you're like, what?
And and he didn't even know that they were
Why,
coming.
you dirty son of a bitch.
And then I find out it was Sean Lynch who's the promoter.
About how big a fella is this guy?
He's a dork. And he looks like
About
a little baby with
how
a
big of a
ZZ
can
Top.
of whoop ass do you need to take with
Not
you?
much. I would fucking roundhouse that shitty beard off of his face. And I'm gonna go there.
Give him a tombstone.
Dude, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna boo him, and if him and his fucking wigger boyfriends want something to do with it, I'll fucking, dude, Mr. E will be there, I'll be there, fucking, my brother will be there, Morbid, fuck, dude, you guys can't handle it.
Just the Dirk and Mr. E, they don't fuck around.
Yeah, just the Dirk and Mr. E, dude, we could take out your whole crew by ourselves.
Right, and then go do a show.
Right. So fuck you, motherfuckers.
Wiping the sweat off their brow.
Fuck your goddamn, your cock-blocking ways. And now we know, Now we know.
Right.
Now we know, because, no, you're not cool. We're not doing any more interviews
It's too bad
with you
that
on your
show doesn't get a decent opening like it deserves. But, not every show gets what they deserve. Sometimes you get fucking soft skull retards jumping in.
with fucking pubic hair, foot-long beards.
Who think they can rap. Like that little white kid in that movie, The Visit.
Right, but fucking even
think you're a
stupider, because
rapper.
this guy is fucking like, I don't know, probably my brother's age, around 26, 27.
So he's
yeah.
fairly new.
But, fucking...
And just going and doing that shit to people that have been in the business for fucking...
He should have just been like...
in it for about 10, 12 years now?
And he didn't even tell us. We had to find out on our own who the promoter was. And we've known Sean Lynch forever, because Sean Lynch promotes everything in Billings.
Yeah, and that's where you mainly operate.
Mm-hmm. And if we would have known once he figured it out, but he's like, no, I'm the main promoter. You're not a promoter. You're a fucking dork who lives with his mom, who runs a fucking internet radio show that we were on, we shouldn't have been. And I'm fucking pissed that we gave you a real copy of our album.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten my copy back that you gave to ICP.
Right, so...
Right, and I've earned it.
You're right, so fucking
you son
Paul
of a
Bunyan,
bitch.
you little bitch.
If you live in a trailer, it's getting tipped the fuck over.
Tipped over, and then Vinny's gonna take your copy of my CD.
Goddamn right.
Right out of your car stereo, because I know you're listening
and
to it.
it better
you
not be
dork.
scratched up, you motherfucker.
I can't believe you paid $150 to Mr. Licks to be on your shitty song.
You gave him a copy like the one you gave me?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Sealed copy.
And that's professionally made.
Mm-hmm. I could have made $10 off that fucking thing.
Goddamn right he could
And
have.
it didn't even fucking fuck you.
And I gave
Fuck
mine
you.
up to ICP because it's ICP and they needed a copy. And that's
this-
the only copy that was available at the time.
Right, because I didn't have any on
And
me.
it just
'cause I was
so
freaking
happens
out.
I did.
Right.
And it was brand new in the package still.
Yep.
And I was glad to forfeit it up to those guys. I mean, I'm more than happy to.
It really pisses
It was
me
for
off.
a good cause.
Yeah, it was.
And those guys loved you two when we met them.
They know who we are. Fucking, they've known who we are for a while. And it's bullshit that this motherfucker cockblocked
Well, yeah, you've
us.
sent them your CD many a times, haven't you?
Yeah, and I personally handed one to
Right,
them that
right.
you're describing.
That day we met them.
Yeah, and
Which Jay and Shags were, Jay and Shags were the shit. Shags was fucking so awesome.
Yeah. Jay was scared of me, and I don't know why.
Well, because you and Mr. E, I mean, two fucking 6 foot tall, big motherfuckers. And fucking Mr. E had that machete on him, and you had fucking a real Freddy Krueger glove on.
Yeah,
and a mask.
But yeah, dude, Shaggy thought we were the shit, and so did Jay.
And you all called in sick to work so we could do that.
Yeah, I called in sick to work. I was like, I'm not missing eating ICP. They're the reason why I like rap.
Right.
Fucking, but yeah, anyways. Fuck you. Fucking Paul Bunyan, you hear?
Yeah, Paul
fuck
Bunyan.
You, and fuck anybody who thinks I'm wrong.
You pancake eating bastard.
Dude, I'll flip his pancake over and butt fuck him. No, I won't.
No, you don't. Dude, you don't like big babies.
No, actually, I like big women.
Yep.
And he's just a big baby.
He's not a big woman. He's not pretty at all.
No, he's a fucking dork.
Which, on the topic of women, you are listening to two of the most eligible bachelors in the region.
Right, Team
Sexy. Right. Over here. Two sexy guys.
Right. They called me Big Sexy Dirk Jennings.
And right.
And the Tower of Power, Too Sweet to Be Sour, Vinny Vegas.
Goddamn right. And we are here to please.
Danger! 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 Danger!